Hello there. Today I've got a really personal blog post to read. It's called Why I'm Coming Out as a Non-Hugger. You read that right. I'm a non-hugger. For the first 35 years of my life, this was a non-issue. Hugging just wasn't a thing people in Huron County did in the 70s and 80s, or even during the 90s when I moved to the city. On the rare occasion when it seemed obligatory, I did just that. I obliged. My heart wasn't in it, though. And rarely both arms either. Yup, I was that half-hugger, sometimes offering people a gentle tap after a second or two, like a wrestler conceding defeat and asking to be released. I chalked up my physical distancing to having English parents. It served me well as a justification until I started seeing my English relatives more often. They were more about the hug, or the cuddle, as they call it, than my parents ever were. My father was the least demonstrative. Indeed, the only time he ever touched me was on the dance floor. Even then, it seemed to me neither necessary nor desirable, his catchphrase, if he put his arm around my waist before the music started. Whether innately or following Dad's lead, my mum fell into the same non-contact pattern. I remember 2 hugs from her. In grade 7, I won the Science Award, an achievement she deemed hug-worthy because I was more inclined to the arts. In grade 12, a close friend of mine died suddenly, prompting her to once again move in with both arms, but just for a moment. After Dad died, she tried to weave hugging into the fabric of our family. I felt badly for her because it was super awkward for us both. Since the early 2000s, hugging's become a social norm. Some friends who see each other daily even do it. If any time at all has passed since the last greeting, most will move in for some body contact. If someone's going through something, has experienced a loss, or anything else in the category of difficult emotional content, people are reaching out literally and enveloping the person. I know they mean to comfort. Thing is, rather than comforting me, it feels invasive. I don't typically do things I don't want to do, but on the hugging front, I've tried to fit in. During the Jack years especially, I had to steel myself a lot. Polish citizenship requires a hug and a 3-cheek kissing routine, regardless of the degree of esteem or affection the hugger has for the huggee. Even after 9 years with him, I'm best equipped for the moment if I can see the person coming and I'm in a good frame of mind. I'm still likely to go in with one arm only, though, and use the let me out tap. If someone comes at me unawares, or my emotional stars are out of whack, or the person with open arms is someone who irritates me, I'm mentally snapping, "Don't fucking touch me." On one occasion, shortly before Jack died, I literally said those words to a relative of his, to everyone's shock, including my own. For years, though, I tried. I really did. So why am I coming out now as a non-hugger? Well, I'm emboldened by a recent diagnosis. I'm autistic. I'm choosing today, Father's Day, as a tribute to the source of my autism. For many years, Mom and I speculated Dad was on the autism spectrum. His hyper-focused interests, his inflexible routines, and yes, his undemonstrativeness all pointed to neurodivergence. He was proud of his eccentricity, too. If teenage me was drawn to a fashion trend, Dad would proclaim if he wanted to wear Elizabethan tights, he would. Although, as I pointed out, he never did, leaving it unsaid that maybe he was a little more of a conformist than he wanted to admit. Around the time my mother died last summer, I met a woman in her early 40s who'd recently gone through the assessment process. She'd sought the assessment because her daughter had been diagnosed, and autism has an estimated heritability of 70 to 90%. Successful by most measures, including a PhD and a career in academia, there was nothing about this woman that presented as autistic in the way we stereotypically imagine. She talked about how liberating the revelation was, not only in helping understand her daughter, but also in understanding herself. I saw a lot of myself in her. Last fall, I started the process using an Oakville-based assessor with expertise in adult diagnosis. After 6 hours of videotapes and more than 20 standardized tests, with some also completed by a friend who knows me well, I had the results conversation in January. While I wasn't surprised to confirm Dad's genetic fingerprints were all over me, I was surprised about the degree of relief I felt without even a tiny bit of sadness. The space between me and the rest of the world suddenly made sense, and it wasn't something I had any reason to hide or change. Many who are diagnosed late also have other conditions like depression, anxiety, substance abuse, or disordered eating. These result from the masking behaviors most autistics adopt to fit in. I don't have any of these, at least not at the level of formal diagnosis. The assessors suggested 2 reasons for me not masking. I've been insulated by my intelligence, and I was raised by people who embraced difference and didn't try to fit in themselves. My only regret is that I got the diagnosis too late to thank Mum. Dad wouldn't have noticed I was different, but she probably did, and mostly didn't make me self-conscious about it. When I told my therapist about the assessor's conclusion, she pointed me to the federal disability tax credit. I laughed. While I'm grateful the taxation system contemplates autism as a disability in some, it is not for me. Autism is my superpower. It's advantaged me professionally and personally by giving me the passion to dig deep into a topic, the strength to buck trends, an extraordinarily long attention span, a complete inability to lie, the strength to hold steadfast to things I know are right, the love for the quirky, and perhaps most importantly, an ability to write honestly and unself-consciously about difficult subjects. So now you know. Late diagnosis of neurodivergence is all the rage now, and it feels a little like I'm betraying my father for following a trend, but I'm grateful for this new personal insight at the end of my 6th decade. When you see me next, you may congratulate me, but just a handshake, please. Thanks for watching.